Okay, that's silver. That's silver on the 60-minute scale, silver price in US dollars. I think silver has not yet given us that earthquake that gold delivered. Gold gave us that earthquake by cracking through weekly support, and silver looks like it's going to deliver that as well, but it's taking its time, as you can see. It's shying away from the support, a very solid support that there is here at 1610, 1620. And if this wave count is correct, the breakdown should happen fairly soon. Okay, I have this showing as 108 to be on the 60-minute scale. Sorry, and that is 1, 2. Fine, that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 1. If that's correct, that could work out as an 8. That's to be a slight pop towards 1655 or so. And then reverse crack through the floor at 1610, plunge headlong, yeah, plunge hard here under 16, and you know what it is. It is extremely bearish setup. Okay, now if it's not ready, you see the two lines here. If it's not ready, what I think it's going to do is going to sit on top of 16.7. It's going to sit around here, and that tells you that this second wave is not over. It's probably going to end somewhere down. It is heading above the stop. So this is what I see on the 60-minute scale. Fairly focused view of the price action here. Let me show you the daily here. There is no doubt in my mind that if silver is going down the path of gold, it appears to me very likely that once the support here cracks, it's going to go into a really panic move, something like that, and maybe even something like that. Yeah, it's, in my opinion, once it cracks through that, it's not going to be like, you know, very well behaved pace. It's going to be panicky. Yeah, it's going to be panicky in the nature of things. Look, there was support here for 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4 months roughly. You have a solid support here. Now, when such a thing cracks, it means that that's a big deal, especially if it's not a spike down and reverse in the same day. If it closes under that, like what gold did now, yeah, you're going to see gold in a sec, then I think the balance of power will shift, and it will cause dramatic movement on the downside. Now, here's gold. There is so much to say about what happened here this past week in gold. There is really a lot to say. The chart is showing you that the momentum on the weekly is expanding seriously here, and there is enormous amount of support for the bears, and it just shows, look, this is the floor of 2018, which is completely obliterated. Completely obliterated here on the weekly scale. It closed under the 50 moving average. Unless it jumps back very quickly, and that's got to happen within 2 days. I would say 2 trading days, we want to see gold suddenly flowering, suddenly shining, boom, going up. If that doesn't happen, it means this break is absolutely for real. I tend to think it's for real, meaning when I say for real, I mean it is going to continue down, obviously. Yeah. It's going to continue down. We started a solid move with a solid break, and that will reflect the bearish forces weighing here that will produce eventually something like that. Okay, that's my thinking. It's going to break continuously, and we're going to go down for weeks to come. And the general pattern that I had in mind, if you remember, that was that's been going down in the sea. Well, this past week, this projection got a huge boost. Yeah, this projection got a huge boost. You definitely want to consult the weekly scale, even the monthly. As you go about things, you really want to look at the weekly and the monthly, what they're doing, even if you bother just with a 60-minute chart for trading. Yeah, if you're a day trader or you trade just for, you know, a few hours moves, etc., you definitely want to see where the market is in reference to the daily and into the weekly and the monthly. We won't go into the yearly, etc. Right now, for the purposes of short-term trading, that's what I would say. Let's have a look at the monthly. and you can see obviously the monthly will register a new low here in reference to the previous month. So you can see the break on the monthly, yeah, and it looks to me like it's a reverse. Look, it's a reverse distribution. Tried so hard to penetrate this level, didn't make it. It's coming down. It really tried. 1, 2, 3, 4 months. Then let go. It failed and it came back and it cracked through that. So I take it that that's enough of a signal as far as I'm concerned that the movement down will continue now. Now let's jump to the daily. And I told you that if my analysis is wrong and for some reason gold is going to suddenly perk up and flower again and shine again, then it's got to happen very quickly. Eh? I would say waking up within 2 trading days, you want to see it boom above 1,307. Okay, in that case, there are two options. There are two possible options that I see at this point. One is that this is supposed to be 1, meaning that that is the right wave count. I have to account for this as 1, 2, 3, not 3 here. 3, 4, 5. And then we'll have lateral movement as a second wave for quite some time. That's one option. The other option is that this is indeed a 5-wave run, but it's not first leg. Then what is it? Well, don't be too surprised, but it could be this. Now, do you remember the idea that that's an A, that's a B, that's a C, that's a D, and that's an E? Do you remember that? Okay, so if it suddenly jumps back and I say it's not a first wave down, what could it be? It could be that in fact the D only ended now and the E leg has not ended, and that's going to take, that will chew up another who knows, 2-3 months. That will frustrate the gold traders completely. That will be A, B, C like that, and then we will go into something like that. It will again go towards the 1,360 level. Again, probably won't make it through. That's the whole logic of this pattern. And only then it will be ready to crash. Now, I tend to think that this is unlikely. The reason why I think it's unlikely is simply due to the proportion of the previous moves. I'm going to take it back here to the weekly, and I'm going to show you. Do you see, saying that the E leg is not terminated and that everything we have seen here is just the D leg, it's just looking odd when you look at how long the C leg took. The C leg took barely 2 months, I would say 6-7 weeks. So it looks to me like if it is a correct reading of a triangle in the nature of things is pointing to a specific, look, a triangle is a contracting movement. Do you see? Whether it's pointing up like that as a triangle, it doesn't matter. It's a contracting movement, so the legs become shorter and shorter, or squeezed if you like. But if I go here and I tell you, listen, this is going to be a D leg, what do? That's an A, that's a B, that's a C. Suddenly I expand it. I don't think it's very likely. Somehow it seems to me that we should work with this option, but I spend time explaining to you this because this is the only thing that could alter, if you like, significantly the reading for the next 2-3 months, and would really drive a lot of gold traders completely nuts because it's not going anywhere. It's not able to break out, and it's not breaking down. It managed to hold support, and they wouldn't know what to make out of it. Okay, so this is one option that you may want to consider. Let's now go quickly and see the 60 minutes. Now the breakdown was very dramatic, how it crashed through the floor of the 1,300, and that must have hit a lot of stops here. Okay, so as I said, my thinking is that this is likely a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and this is part of the third wave. if I'm right, we probably have seen the first leg here terminating, and it's working on a tiny ABC. There could be further jump higher in the correction. Yeah, it could attempt to go back to 1300. This could still be all part of the first leg of the third wave on this scale. Okay, now if it's very weak, yeah, if it's very weak, if it's a shell shocked, the support is gone, the bears are pressing, it is possible that it will go straight back to the floor here and just continue to dive, and that's going to be 303. And that's going to be a very ugly situation for those who can't believe that gold is going to fall further, because they're going to be completely wiped out. They're going to get another series of days that would look like that. Yeah, they might get several more days that would look like that, because a 1-2-1-2 structure calling for a complete meltdown, it's going to shock them, and the shock is going to be so devastating they won't be able to react. Okay, so that's the situation in gold.